the court system. It's not through violence. Violence can never be justified.
Following Jimmy Kimmel's return last night, do you think it's appropriate for the president to suggest that he's going to test out ABC over the comedian's comments, that it could be lucrative for him?
I'm not sure what testing out means, but I'll tell you this.
He alluded to a lawsuit that he settled with ABC News for $16 million. So I guess the implication would be that there would be further litigation, right?
Well, look, it all depends on, if he feels that he's being slandered, et cetera, then he absolutely has a right to take legal action against whoever he feels is slandering him. And so he had some success against ABC in the past. Look, I'm not in favor of any kind of censorship. I'm not now, and certainly not during the Biden administration. And government has no business in trying to censor anybody, even for dumb remarks. People are allowed to have dumb remarks, even on the air. Now, I've always been somebody who says the best way to combat misinformation is with more information. And one of the tenets of our country is freedom of speech. And I will defend that right to the end. And government should have no place in trying to limit the speech of anybody. That will be handled either by private corporations or by the public at large with their opinions. But we shouldn't be in the business of trying to censor anybody.
Lastly, on the note about misinformation, Congressman, what did you make of President Trump propagating the rumor that there's no autism, virtually no autism in Cuba because people there don't have Tylenol? Clearly, there is autism in Cuba. It's ubiquitous around the world. Do you think the president is getting the best public health advice that's available to him?
Well, I don't know if there is autism in Cuba. I'm not privy to their medical records, and so I'm not going to second guess the president on that one. I will tell you this: I have two grandchildren that are high performing, but they're on the spectrum. Something is causing this. Something that came about in the 60s and the 70s, I believe, is causing this. I don't know if Tylenol is one of them, but I know that in 2017, Tylenol did put out a tweet saying, hey, if you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol. Now I'm trying to get to the bottom of that. Why would Tylenol say that? And so, look, a lot of times people say, hey, the president, he's not, I don't understand what he's doing, and is this really disinformation? A lot of the stuff that was viewed as disinformation told by the president in the past, he's actually been right about. So, again, I'm not second-guessing him. He's got his own health experts behind this. I haven't seen the data, and I really don't know what's going on in Cuba, if they have a lower incidence of autism or not.
CNN actually has some reporting about autism cases in Cuba. I'll go ahead and send it to your office so you get a chance to take a look at it. It's new today.
Fair enough.
Also, we're going to have Sanjay Gupta on in just a few minutes, so you may want to hear what he has to say about Tylenol and its association with autism. Congressman Carlos Jimenez, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.
As we just mentioned, the White House linking the use of Tylenol during pregnancy to autism, despite decades of evidence showing that it is safe. It's an announcement that sent pregnant women scrambling for information. Dr. Sanjay Gupta